Next we have submachine guns, so the car is making a return as well. This feels like a laser beam, almost. It's got a little bit of recoil, but very little compared to the alternator. So you can... the hip fire is not that good, but you know, it's good enough to spray people down in close range. And yeah, it's just like the R201. You use this and you're pretty much set, because it's not hard to close distances in this game, because you can move so quickly. Especially if you're using like the grappling hook or the phase shift, you can be on top of someone in 3 seconds, and then they're dead. So the alternator is the pride from the trailers. It's a twin-barreled SMG. It's got a huge amount of recoil, but it does lots of damage, and is quite salty sometimes. And it's so tiny! The Volt, imagine if a submachine gun and a assault rifle had a baby. This is it. It has virtually no recoil. It's got a very distinct sound, and like it fires like tracers, which you can, like blue tracers, which you can see across the map. But at the same time, it's just so good. And this is like your spray and pray. You run up to someone, you hold left click, they're probably gonna die. It's got a really high rate of fire, almost a shotgun. But its range isn't good, whereas this has range, so I quite like using that one. Next we have light machine guns. You got the Spitfire, which is making a return, except it doesn't have that weird kind of reduction in recoil, which happened in the first game. It's just, you know, as it says, steady rate of fire, high damage sort of thing. No one ever uses it really. I've never seen it used because everyone just uses this one, which is wow. Sorry, we'll get to that in a sec. The L-Star, it's weird. It's got unlimited ammo, and you don't. If you're using it properly, you don't have to reload. But every time, so if you press and hold the trigger to spray hose down some enemies, every time you let go, it kind of does a little animation and goes psss, and like opens up and cools down. That was a weird lag spike. And yeah, and if you overheat it, if you don't let go enough, it will overheat and you have to replace the cooling thing or something. And so if you're letting go a lot, it will disrupt your fire. You can't like tap fire it because it got to do that cooling down animation afterwards, which is very interesting. I've not quite got used to it yet. Then the like I said, the devolution, whatever that says. Usually it'd be a spinning barrel, but they decided not to because it's probably sensible. And yeah, this is really, really salty because it's got ludicrous range and really high rate of fire, not a huge amount of recoil, it's easily compensatable, and yeah, high damage. So if you don't like the others, use this. It's a bit far down in the progression, like I'm just at the end of Gen 2, so I've pretty much got everything unlocked. But at the same time, effort. Sniper rifles, there was just these two really last time. We got the double take, also which is fun from the trailers. Kraber is a one-shot, one kill, although no skill, weapon. If you hit an enemy, they'll die, no matter where you hit them. You just have to make sure you do accurate and lead your shots enough. If you hit a headshot with this, of course they'll die. I think it's a 2-shot body shot. If you amp it, it's 1 shot, but it's a DMR and it shoots 2 bullets at once. So it's weird. It's fun, but weird. And it's got kind of like a red dot sight, so I quite like using this because it's a bit better close range. And the DMR, which is more damage than the double take, and it's got more range, I feel. But it only shoots 1 bullet at a time. So, oh yeah, this also shoots like kind of tracers as well. Not as much as the Volt though. Next we have the shotgun. We've only got 2 of these, which makes me sad. As you can tell, I quite like them with Gen 2.3 on now, both. So the EV8 from Titanfall 1 as well. It says it's fully automatic, but it might as well be semi-automatic from the speed it shoots. This can one-shot enemies in close range. You don't have to be that accurate, you just kind of point in their general direction and you'll usually get a kill. Mastiff takes a little more getting used to because it shoots in a flat spread out in front, and it's a lot. It's more like a pump action sort of speed. Yeah, like I said, it takes some getting used to, but it can also. It's got a bit more range than the I find than the EV8, and I think it does more damage, but it takes more practice to get used to. And we've also got the fun guns, the Grenadier class. So Sidewinder has been promoted to a primary now. This is fun because if you shoot someone with this, they explode into giblets or machine scrap if it's a robot guy. EPG-1 is a slow flying, and slow firing, I guess. Kind of energy missile thing. It's very loud, very distinct sound, and can one-shot enemies if it hits. Softball, it stickies. So if you stick to an enemy, if you get one of these stuck to an enemy pilot, they'll get killed. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to hit if you're close enough quarters to do that. So it's pretty good to hit for long ranges. And the Cold War, which is delicious fun. 2 of the 4-round bursts can kill a pilot if you hit them. If you get all 4 in the at their feet, that'll probably also kill them unless they're using stim or something else. And this has got pretty good range if you can negate the fall off. The only problem is the reload is really slow, so you got to make allowances for that. So that's a primary, and yeah, I guess I can do this. Let's just go this one. So you have first, you'll all start with just the one, and when you get to a certain level with the gun, you unlock the second slot, and you progress through the sights. Like for that one. I always like extra ammo because it just means you have to reload less often, and with my accuracy, that's very important. I like tactical because it lets me phase faster. It's kind of the same thing with faster reload, because if I can just phase more often, I can reload while I'm there, and I'm invincible, rather than doing that. And then once you regen, you get the little counter, like stat track from Counter-Strike. It's very silly. And then you get paints, so you can have a bright yellow shotgun if you wanted to, or some of the other challenges, like I said before, zebra pattern shotgun. Sure, that's just a bright yellow shotgun. That's great. So charge rifle, secondaries, you get to choose. So if you got a sniper, I generally would go with a secondary, the Mozambique, rather than one of these. At least at the beginning of the game, where no one has any Titans, and then once Titans start stomping around, you switch out your secondary for a anti-Titan weapon, because they're always useful. So you've got these two coming back from the previous game. I've not used them at all. Not found the appeal. You might as well use an SMG if you're gonna use that. And why? The Mozambique, as it says, a triple barrel shotgun pistol, which is just awesome. You can one-shot headshot enemies in close range, two-shot body shot if you're close enough. If you land like all the pellets that come out. It's very bright, quite noticeable if you don't kill the person looking at you. And it's got, if you miss a couple of times, then you're going to have to reload, because it's only got 4 in the magazine. And the Wingman is also making a return. Looks a bit different, but it's still the same, you know, revolver style, high damage, low rate of fire, that sort of thing. And for some reason, it can have a silencer. Go figure, eh? So, with the anti-Titan weapons, the charge rifle, mag launcher, and archer are making a return with the new edition of the Thunderbolt, which I am a big fan of. But we'll start off with the charge rifle. I do not know what happened there. It's been doing. Anyway, yeah, as it says, anti-Titan sniper. It's got no scope or anything, so it's actually a bit hard to use sniping wise, but it's pretty fun. There's this thing called charge hack, because you know normally it's called a charge rifle because you have to charge it up, but with the charge hack you don't, so it's just a big laser gun. But it does like half damage, which is a bit of a shame. But like by the time you would have charged one, you can get 3 shots off, so it's about more, I'd say, DPS wise. And same sort of thing, you get the pro screen, you get 2 slots. MGL, this just so much damage. It's just awful. It's like you just only need to use this, because like if a Titan's doomed, you shoot a whole mag. If you hit the whole mag of this, it'll die, which is ridiculous. Thunderbolt is great because you don't actually have to hit Titans. If you just get the ball of energy that fires near it, it'll still damage it. So it's good for hitting things around a corner, and it also like kind of does the arc grenade effect where it fuzzes the screen if it hits. And it's a fire and forget sort of thing. So you just kind of pop up, shoot it, duck down behind cover, and you won't be in trouble. Unlike the Archer, which is you have to lock on for. So it takes a bit of time, but it does more damage. If you hit one of these missiles to a doomed Titan, it's going to die straight away. I've been caught out so many times with this. I've been running around as a doomed Titan, about to use my ult on an enemy, and then I just get one-shotted with this. Oh, it gets me. It's so salty. Oh yeah, because there's no tone for getting locked onto anymore. There's a small notification at the bottom, but I would like, warning, Titan locked, or pilot locked, or something like that, or incoming ordnance, or blah blah blah. Yeah, you know how it works. You get things like that, and you get pink stuff, lovely pink zebra, and it appears like on your back where these little spot things are. It'll kind of fold it up or something. So that's fun. Right. So that's the pilots. Now the Titans. So 6 Titans. As I said before in the previous one, I really do like these. My favourite has actually surprisingly been Northstar. I thought I would have preferred Ronin, because that's how I like to play in Titanfall 1. But actually Northstar has been my favourite to this point. It's just so much fun, because your damage is output can be incredible. If you hit a fully charged critical hit shot, you can half a Titan's health with the one shot, excuse me. The cluster missile is good for getting rid of a tone if it's stuck behind its cover, because you can just fire that off behind its like shieldy thing, and it'll still damage it. And it'll get it to either move back or move forwards, in which case you can use your tether trap and then run away again. You do a lot of running away as Northstar, I find, because it's very squishy and there's no shield unlike almost all the others, which is a shame. Oh yeah, of course. Well, that's the wrong one. So all of the Titans share these 6 ones you can choose. I quite like having an extra dash or the nuclear rejection. If I'm using a Titan that I get close up with other Titans a lot, I'll use the nuclear ejection. If not, I quite like having the extra dash. Because I never use this because I'm almost always in my Titan if I've got it, so never need it. And I had this in the previous game because I was worried about getting taken out, but usually I can eject quick enough. If not, because like the only times is if someone's using an enemy Titan's using an ult, in which case you don't have any hope anyway. And then each Titan's got their own specific kits. So you start off with the top left one. In this case, this is the piercing shot, and then you can unlock as it leveling progresses. So you get things like it's usually like it makes your abilities better. So the first one will do something like your primary weapon does more damage or something. Then your ordnance will do more damage. Then your utility will do more damage. Then your ultimate will do more damage. Something like that. So I always liked using this one, but actually I'm getting used to Viper Thrusters, because when you use your ultimate you can just like really just move around. So if an enemy tries to hide, you can just come around and get them. But I really think Northstar's ultimate does not do enough damage. Like even if there's a full I can't blah, 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 words. It can't take down a full health Legion, unlike Tones, and I think Tones can. Tones a different story, and Ion's ultimates can. And Ronin has no trouble. Just press the click button as much as you can. But I quite like playing as that. And then you can also choose how it enters the battle. I used to really want that because that's, you know, you get it quicker, but it's just like when you're getting in, your Titan still takes damage. So I've had it where just as I'm getting in, my Titan explodes and I die, and I didn't even get a chance to like do anything. So I tend to use this more than often. And same sort of thing with this. You have a nice bright green or bright yellow Titan, nice camouflage. You've got your challenges, same sort of thing. And then Titans have this extra section at the end. It says War Paint. So the first one I got because I got the Deluxe, which is the Excalibur Chrome, which makes them more like kind of dark, this nice shiny, which I quite liked. And then you get for doing lots of killing sprees in the Titans, you unlock these ones. So these are like I guess essentially premium kind of skins you can get. So I quite like using them. And so yeah, this is like this one. It says earn 100 killing sprees. I'm nearly there. Not yet though, so I gotta stick with this. And it also changes like the rockets, whereas the others don't do that. So I thought that was pretty cool. It changes other things. And then same sort of thing. So I'm gonna open my screen. There's like nose arts, which I quite like. So you start off with, and then through progression you unlock more, and so forth. This is the one from the trailer. Very nice. And then there are Epica gifts, which are a bit different. Ooh. And then this is the one I got for the Digital Deluxe. It's quite nice, but I'll go for that one because it looks a bit silly. So that's North Star. Ion, basically use this one if you don't know what to do. She's useful in everything. Yeah, so for I'm just going to show these off. It's quite good against pilots, so as an early game Titan, where if you can get it done quick, because the precision shoulder laser thing can one-shot enemies if you hit him. But Ion's thing is she has like a pooled energy reserve, so if all of her abilities take energy from that, except for this one when you've got this. And she's got the Vortex Shield from Titanfall 1, which you catch bullets and you throw them back. So that's quite fun. Scorch is actually one of my new favourites. I'm getting to, you could say I'm warming up to Scorch. I can't believe I said that. I feel dirty. Yes, this is the paint I've got. Ooh, steady on frame rate. These are the abilities for Scorch. Here, I think it's a he, is all about burning things. So, if you like doing that, Scorch is the Titan for you. Yeah, but you're a slow-moving target with a lot of health. That's the kind of the heavy frame, and but at the same time, you can deal a lot of damage. So the thermite launcher, if you hit an enemy with it, an enemy pilot, it's a one-shot kill. Your flame core, the big ultimate thingy, can one-shot some Titans, especially even easier if they're lower health. The thermal shield's quite fun because you can use it to damage enemy Titans if they get too cuddly. And yeah, he's good for tight enclosed spaces. North Star, Ronin. This is the favorite from the trailers, as before. It's got a shotgun, it's got a sword, it's just awesome. It doesn't show the sword here, but it goes there. I've bought some nice paints for it. You can't buy the nose arts, which makes me sad. But so these are the abilities. I quite like having this one, because you can stun enemies for longer and let you, well, shoot them. Because you don't have a lot of rounds in this. It really empties really quickly, the shotgun. So I usually try and empty a magazine, stun them, reload, empty them, use it again, and so forth. And then you try and go for the takedown, execution, whatever it's called, which is glorious. Tone, if you've got this unlocked, use it. Her damage is terrifying. And yeah, so basically, as long as if you go against Tone, the one tip I can give is don't let them hit you 3 times with the main gun, because if you do, you're dead. That tracking rockets does so much damage, it's unreal. It's just annoying. I don't like Tone, especially if I'm trying to play North Star. So you play at the back, but Tone can also snipe, and then like the 2 barrages of the tracking rockets, and I'm like pretty much dead. I can't do anything. Now I get my ultimate, and I'll try and kill them, and they'll just go nah man, and I'll use the salvo core, which is just. Enough whining. These are the things. No. I like hiding behind the wall, it's nice. Lift here. I don't like the big bar that comes out of this. I think it looks a bit ugly when you're in first person in the Titan. Really not a fan of that. And Legion. Legion's also a bit annoying. Especially for a pilot, because it can just melt people with the minigun. There it is. Again, this is a heavy Titan, so it's a bit slow. Won't come with any boosts by default, like the dashes rather. But at the same time, it's like, well, you don't need it. You've got so much health. You can just tank it. Yeah, it's weird. I just noticed there's a hole in the top there. Ooh, that's weird. Sorry, it's a bit off topic. It's fine. But yeah, and he's got a smart core, or it's got a smart core, and it just locks on. So if you're in a Titan and it uses a smart core, it's got unlimited ammo, so it just keeps going, and it'll lock onto your Titan and does lots of damage. And then you eject, and it locks onto you again, and you die a lot, very quickly. Lots of bullets in your everything. And these are the abilities. More ammo, smart core lasts longer, gun shield. Oh yeah, the shield on Legion just goes around the gun, so you can still shoot, unlike a lot of the others. And then, yeah, imagine the Heavy from Team Fortress 2 if he was a giant walking mech. And not Russian. I don't think he's Russian. So yeah, that's all the customization. No, I don't want that. I will probably show off Scorch. Because you start off with these top 3 unlocked. I would have to disagree with Tone being 3-star difficulty. She really isn't. Probably say North Star's more difficult because you got to get your positioning right, otherwise you're just gonna die. I'd say Ronin's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. You just need to just mash, and then if you've run out of ammo and all your abilities on cooldown, just mash the sword, the melee key, because your sword does more damage and has a longer reach than the others, which just punch things. So yeah, and they've all got their own kind of executions, which are really badass. So Ion's a bit like the Ogre takedown from Titanfall 1. You rip the arm off, and then you kind of beat the Titan around the face with it, which opens the hatch, and then you shove your gun into it and shoot, which I think is pretty cool. Scorch actually is a bit lackluster. Kind of kick it and then just push it away with the Inferno shield, which, it's okay. North Star is probably my favourite. You kind of do a sweep the leg sort of thing, which trips the enemy Titan up so it falls on its back. And then you jump up into the air and slam the plasma rail gun into the cockpit and charge up fire, and it's so cool. Ronins, as seen from the trailers, you kind of slice them up a bit and then stab them. It's pretty fun. Tone does like a flying knee to the face of the enemy Titan, and then rips the pilot out and shoots them. Like, quick draw. That's weird. And so that's pretty good. And Legion just stabs them with the minigun and fires them through, drills through using bullets. So that's fun. Yeah, so networks, you can just make one with your friends if you want. And yeah, so next video will be gameplay. Oh, one more thing. Your primary network, so mine's the Titanfall Legends one, set their own happy hour. So for example, this starts in 3 hours, and when you get that, you can get 5 merits, which is like the credits system and used to level up and blah 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 blah. So yeah, like it says, per day. So once a day you can earn an extra 5 if you play during happy hour, which I think is quite a good idea. I mean, not so much for this group because it's 11 o'clock at night here.